Hi guys. Welcome back. We made it through another week. It's Friday, April 24th, so we are almost right through the month. Um, I hope everything's going well. I know we've been doing a lot of stuff on Cami, and I hope you're reaching out to me if that doesn't work, um, and letting me know. I'm hoping that it's working. It's the best way that I know how to have you guys still show me your work, and so that I can understand if you get the process. Okay, so we are going to move on to one new step today, and that is solving equations with variables on both sides. I actually think you're going to find this a lot easier than the fraction stuff, okay? Because there's no fractions involved today, which might be a relief to some of you. Okay, so just quickly reading through this, some problems produce equations that have variables on both sides of the equal sign. Okay, solving an equation with a variable on both sides is similar to solving an equation with a variable on just one side. You can add or subtract the term containing a variable on both sides of the equation. So what does that really all mean? And that sounds like a lot of wordy stuff, and the best way I know how to tell you about that is to really just do some examples. So we're going to work through a few different examples here. First of all, I'm going to draw the line by the equal sign just like we always do, and recognize, you guys, that there is a variable on each side of the equation. Now I'm going to draw a little picture here, and we have in the past talked about equations being like this scale, and that the two sides of the scale have to stay balanced. Okay, so right now we have 4x on one side plus a 6 balanced by an x. Okay, now what I would like to say and what I would like to tell you about is that we can't have the variable on each side. Okay, the variable can only be on one side or the other. So we really have to pick. And it doesn't matter which side you pick, but we want all the variables on one side and all the constants on the other. So in this case, I'm going to say I want to put all the variables here and all the constants over here. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the x on one side. Well, if I get rid of an x on one side, if I subtract an x, remember there's a 1 in front of there, that means I also have to take an x off the other side in order to keep it balanced. So I need to minus an x from this side also. And now what I have is 3x plus 6 equals, well, there's really nothing there, 0. Okay. Now I want the constants to go on the other side. We want to keep the variable and its best friend together and get rid of the plus 6 by doing a minus 6. So we have 3x equals negative 6. And then finally finish by dividing by 3. So x equals negative 2. So there's your answer. Okay. Now you can go back and you can still check these by plugging in to the original equation. If I put negative 2 in for x, I put negative 2 here, and we need to see if both sides work. So 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, and negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2, which is the same as what we have on the other side. Okay, so we're really thinking of it like that scale where we want to keep both sides balanced. Okay, so let's look at the next one. I'm going to draw a line by the equal sign again. Okay, I am going to draw a little picture over here because I do think that might help some of you visualize this all. There's my balance scale, and I have 9b minus 6 on one side and 5b plus 18 on the other. And right now, it's nice and even. It's balanced. Okay, we need to decide which side are you going to keep the variables on. I tend to just put the variables on the left and the constants on the right. Okay, so that means I want to get rid of this 5b. I want it gone. And to get rid of that 5b, I have to subtract it. But if I only do that on one side and not the other, now it's not balanced anymore. So I have to do the same thing on the other. I have to take away 5b's from this side. And what I'd be left with was 4b. So minus 5b. And so now I have 4b minus 6 equals 18. Okay, now ultimately I only want variables on this left-hand side of the balance scale. So I need to get rid of this minus 6. And to get rid of the minus 6, I have to add 6. Okay, now if I add something to one side, I have to do that to the other side to keep it balanced. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And then we have 4b equals 24. And we finish by dividing by 4 because ultimately the goal of solving an equation is to get the variable by itself. 24 divided by 4 is 6. And there is your answer. Okay. All right, continuing on. Example number 3. I know this says on your own, but that's what we would do if we were in class. We're not in class, so I'm going to work through it with you. Again, I'm going to draw my scale. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing it right now to help you see what's happening. So we have 5x plus 8 on one side and x on the other side. Remember, we can put a 1 in front of that x to help us out. I'm going to put variables on the left and constants on the right. Again, it doesn't matter which you choose. I just tend to pick that way. So I need to get rid of this 1x. I need to subtract 1x from both sides. And we end up with 4x plus 8 equals, well, there's nothing there, so equals 0. Okay, now I said I only want variables on the left, so I need to get rid of, oops, I forgot to take away an x here. I need to get rid of this plus 8. And to get rid of the plus 8, I need to minus 8 from both sides. And we have 4x equals negative 8. And then finish the whole problem by dividing by 4 since we want the variable by itself. We're going to isolate that variable. X equals negative 2. And there's my final answer. Okay. All right. One more and then we're done. Okay, so let me draw my scale again to kind of help us out. And on one side we have 3b minus 2, and on the other side we have 2b plus 12. Okay, I'm going to put variables on the left again and constants on the right. I don't care what you choose. You can even just write it right above the equation if that helps you. Okay, so if I only want constants over here, I have to get rid of these two b's. So I'm going to minus 2b to get rid of those. The minus 2b here. Okay, I have to subtract 2b off this side, so I'd have 1b. 1b minus 2 equals 12. Okay, now we have a constant over here. We have a minus 2. To get rid of that minus 2, we have to plus 2 to both sides. And we have 1b equals 14. And technically, the b is already by itself. If it helps you, you can divide by 1. b equals 14 is our final answer. Okay, and that would balance the two sides. 3b minus 2, if I put 14 in there. 3 times 14 is 42 minus 2 is 40. On the other side, we'd have 2b plus 12. If I put 14 in there, we have 28 plus 12, which is also 40. So we notice that really the two sides are equal if b equals 14. Okay, so you survived another week of distance learning. We all survived. I don't know if this is getting any easier for any of us, but we are surviving and we're making it. And hopefully it went well for you guys. And I hope you have a great weekend and we'll keep pushing forward. Have a great weekend, everyone.